Over 96% of businesses never make it to $1 million in annual revenue. And of those who do, only 10% of those actually make it to 10 million. So 0.4% of all startups are actually built to scale. And the 99.6% that fail almost always fail because of this one thing. The number one silent, hidden killer that prevents most businesses from hitting that 8-figure mark is you, the founder, and specifically how you have accidentally built the business around yourself so that it can never actually outgrow you. In this video, I am going to break down the most common and hidden bottlenecks that creep into our business, keep us trapped in the weeds, and prevent us from ever building a truly self-scaling business machine, and what we can do to clear these bottlenecks once and for all. So I was a little bit mean before when I say that you are the ultimate bottleneck. Here's what I mean by that. Most founders start businesses based off of something that they are really good at doing. If you're a great marketer, you're gonna start a marketing agency. If you're an awesome plumber, you're gonna start a plumbing company. And the challenge is that because you're so good at what it is that you do, naturally, organically, we build all of the systems, we build the client process around ourselves, around us showing up every day, doing what we do best to drive growth and produce results within our business. So even when we start to hire other people who can do the work instead of us, or build systems out that our team should be able to run without us, because it's built around our expertise, we end up getting naturally stuck being the MVP within our own business. We build systems and processes that we have to be a part of in order to run successfully. We hire people and build team trainings that can't happen unless we are there leveling up and managing our team or managing their training. And so we kind of whoopsie ourselves into being the bottleneck because we are actually just so competent at the thing that we get paid to do. But here's the challenge. If every client onboarding process, let's say, has to involve you, well then every single client that gets onboarded means that it takes some of your time to deliver on. But here's where this becomes a bottleneck, is if every client process can't run without you, if key client decisions can't be made without you, if the best client results or the best business results can't happen without you, well, as our company grows and grows and grows, more stuff needs to happen. More clients come in, they need to be delivered on, more decisions need to be made, more tasks need to get done. And if at some level those things rely on you, well, you're a fixed resource. You only have so much time and energy that you can give, but your company, as it grows, is going to need more and more and more. And when these two things intersect, when what your company needs from you exceeds what you are physically capable of pouring in, you're working 50, 60, 70 hours a week trying to make it all happen. What happens is that our business stops growing. We become the ceiling, we become the bottleneck that our business cannot grow past. And so if we ever want to hit not just the 1 million, but the $10 million mark, we have to figure out how to break this dependency, how to get ourselves out of the systems, the processes, the team training, the client onboarding. We have to get our business to the point where each new client does not mean more work for us. So let's break down exactly how we do this. Obviously, a key and critical component to this is going to be your team. If instead your team can deliver on the client, fix the problem, make the decision, execute the task, and they can do that without you, then you have uncapped the growth and potential of your company, because if you need more stuff to get done, you can just hire more people, and that totally works. The challenge is that most founders don't know how to build a self-managing team. So to help our clients with this, I created a tool that I call the Leadership Scorecard. This is a proven tool and system that you can install in your business tomorrow for free in order to immediately start leveling up your team, shifting your team from reactive to proactive, starting to manage them in such a way where they take radical ownership for their outcomes and where they begin to solve their own problems and make their own decisions without you. So if you want my proven process on how to build that team, go ahead into the description. The Leadership Scorecard is linked there. It's totally free. You can install it in your business starting tomorrow. So beyond building a self-managing team, what else do we need to do to disconnect the dependency that our company has on us? We need to drill into our systems, our SOPs, and our trainings. Let's break this down. So right now, if we were to map out every single system and process in your business, where would you be involved? What are the various places in every system and process in your company that is built around or relies on you? If we were to do an audit of all of those places, that would actually give us a roadmap for exactly what we need to do to remove you from that place within the process. So if you want to get spicy with it, you can literally do this. Map out every process, figure out where exactly your team is coming to you and where you are being continuously involved and dragged into the weeds to make a process happen. Then we take a look at that spot within the process and we ask ourselves a simple question. In order to remove myself from this place within the process, is this a people solution? Meaning somebody else needs to be able to do this instead of me, and I can train them, or I can hire someone, or I can delegate to them so that it can happen without me? Or is there a system or an automation that can do this without me? And in the world and age of AI, the answer to this second one is actually almost always yes. Is there a way that we can take those unique places where you're involved in the process and we can either systemize that out, we can build an SOP around it, which I'm gonna get to next, or we can literally build a technology to do that step instead of us? Can we train an AI, or can we offer an AI to our team so that our team can go to the AI to get the answer that they need instead of coming to us? So AI is opening up a world of possibilities of how to get yourself out of the day-to-day of your own business. So go there first. If we can't figure out how to get AI to do it, then we need to rely on a person to do it, someone who is not us. And we need to equip that person with the information and the process that they need to run that without us. And this is where we get to SOPs. SOPs stands for Standard Operating Procedure. It's essentially the recipe book for how your business does what it does, right? These are the set of steps that we follow to produce the result that our clients pay us for. So right now, you are the head chef. You are this wild, visionary, creative chef who has all of these recipes locked inside of your brain, and your team is trying to help you cook. But if they don't have the recipe, then they have to go to you, the head chef, to ask every time, hey chef, what's the next step? What's the next ingredient? How do I combine these things? How do I cook? If instead we, the chef, take the time to lay out the recipe book and take all of that amazing visionary technical knowledge inside of our brains and put it into a recipe that our team can follow, well, now they can execute without us. There's actually an AI tool that I would recommend you use to help you with this. It's called Scribe, and it's going to make building SOPs easy and simple for you. But the long and short of it is that way too much of your business is trapped inside your head. And SOPs are how we get it out of your head and into a recipe that your team can follow. So again, any place where you are currently finding yourself getting dragged into a process or dragged into a part of the business, ask yourself the question, can I build a recipe that walks through how I do this or what I'm doing when I step in so that my team can follow it without me? And the third and final piece to this is then training, right? We've got the recipe, now we need to train our team on how to follow the recipe. I want to get a little bit advanced and I want to get a little nuanced here to talk through the major mistake that I see most founders make when it comes to rolling out SOPs and training their team to follow it. The biggest mistake that most founders make is they take the recipe exactly and they hand it to their team and say, follow this recipe exactly, right? Here's the step-by-step. Here's exactly how I do it. Therefore, this is exactly how you have to do it. Okay. That would work great if we worked at McDonald's and our team had to follow the exact same recipe with the exact same steps every single time, and that recipe never changes and it won't change for the next 20 years. That process works awesome. Follow it exactly this way. However, if you are a startup founder who is running a fast-growing business in a fast-changing market and fast-changing environment, which we all are, then that actually doesn't work. Carving a recipe into stone and then handing it to your team and saying never deviate, what we accidentally do is we prevent our team from getting innovative, getting creative, and getting adaptable. The challenge is that if we write down the recipe and then we don't allow our team to take ownership and creative control over that recipe, then every single time the recipe gets outdated or the recipe needs to evolve, right? Every time we want to improve how we work with our clients, then we end up becoming the bottleneck again because we are the only person that we trust to update the recipe. Our team has not been trained or empowered to think for themselves, to take creative control over that recipe, to try new things, new flavors, new ingredients, and to be continuously innovating and updating how we cook so that we're constantly pushing the envelope, innovating, creating better solutions, creating better results for our clients, doing all of the things that we ultimately want our business to be able to do, again, without us. So yes, you are the head chef. The core recipes come from you. But when you roll out that SOP, here's how I would invite you to do it. Here's the SOP, you're a new team member. Hey, welcome to the team. Here's your role. Here's the SOPs associated with your role. These are the best guess that we have on how to do this process and the best thing that we have come up with so far. This is based off of all of the knowledge and all of the learning and all of the trial and error that we've come up with to produce this recipe. And with you stepping into this role, this recipe belongs to you now. I've hired you because you're an expert in this recipe, in this area of the business. And so I trust that you're gonna take this recipe, you're gonna learn it, but you're gonna use it as a starting point. And then I want you to bring your experience, your skills, your creativity, your ideas into how we can continuously make this recipe better to drive a better result towards this outcome, right? Towards delivering a result to our clients or towards executing a task in the business. What we're doing is that we're still offering them the framework and the guidance of the recipe. We're still taking all of the knowledge inside of our brain and we're putting it into the business so that our team can access it without us. But what we are not doing is shutting down our team's critical thinking, our team's creative thinking, our team's ability to bring their own skills and own experience and own ideas into the business so that we can capitalize on those and we can actually use those to drive forward, to change, to evolve, and to innovate and do all of that without us having to always be required to come up with the next idea or make the next improvement. So yes, build systems, and yes, create SOPs, and yes, train your team in how to follow those SOPs, but do it in such a way that does not accidentally block your team's ability to bring their best creative critical thinking into their role. And the whole difference between that and what I call SOP monkeys is how we, the leader, roll that SOP out to our team. So if we do all of this successfully, we will eradicate ourselves, eliminate ourselves from all of the day-to-day processes, all of the day-to-day tasks, day-to-day decisions, day-to-day problems that crop up and that pull us back into the weeds of the business. Every single time you get pulled back in, I want you to think to yourself, how can I create a process that will prevent my team from needing me for this in the future? How can I create a system that automates this using AI or using a system or an automation? And how can I hand this off to my team in such a way that doesn't diminish or depreciate their creative ownership over how this process runs and evolves in the future? If we can master that cycle where every time something comes up, that's how we respond to it, we will systematically eliminate all of the places that we are currently getting dragged into the weeds. We will disconnect the work that needs to be done within the business with the time and energy that it takes from us to make it happen, and therefore we will uncap the growth potential of our business. So where I focus this video is really on the process and the SOP side of this equation. But like I talked about, your people, the performance, the ownership, the proactivity of your people is a critical factor in whether or not you ever successfully get out of the weeds of your business. So if we want to focus on the people side, we're going to need to check out this next video that I created of a live workshop that I did, walking you through the Leadership Scorecard, that tool that I just dropped into the description. Go check out that workshop. It breaks down that tool and it breaks down my exact proven system to build a high-performance, self-managing team. If this was helpful, punch that subscribe button and I will see you over there.